right, guys, I finally got around to putting this gun together. I purchased this Christensen Ridgeline FFT about 3 weeks ago. I've been kind of sidetracked steelhead fishing, so I haven't put it together yet. But today's the day I'm going to get the scope put on, and I'm going to head out to the range tomorrow and start shooting this thing. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why I picked this gun. So typically I hunt with a bow. Last year I decided to do a spring bear hunt for the first time in Idaho, and I built a 300 Win Mag Browning LR Max, which was a phenomenal rifle. I shot a bear and I shot a mule deer with that gun. It laid the hammer down. Both those animals hit the ground as soon as the bullet hit them, and they didn't take another step. So I have no complaints with that rifle. The only thing is I didn't really take into account the weight. So that gun fully built was about 11.5 pounds. And my style of hunting is to load my backpack up and head in for 5, 6, 7 days, kind of whatever it takes to get an animal harvested. So I decided this year I really wanted to get my hands on a 7 PRC, and I wanted to go a little bit lighter. So this gun, I just weighed it with the action in it. It's 5 pounds, 11 ounces. This is the 22-inch barrel. It's an absolutely beautiful gun. I'll be honest with you, it's a little bit more than I wanted to spend on a hunting rifle because I abuse my gear, but everybody knows right now it's hard to get your hands on stuff, so you can't be super picky. Other than the cost, I'm super happy with the gun. I can't wait to shoot it. So, and then all I did with the rest of my stuff here is I just pulled it off my 300 Win Mag. So this is the Vortex Razor 4.5 to 22, 50 millimeter LHT. I thought about buying the 3x15 LHT, but when you look on the specs, look at the specs on the internet, you're only shaving like 3 ounces off. So I didn't see the point in spending another, $1,200 or whatever it is for a scope that I'm only going to save 3 ounces on. So I pulled that off my 300 Win Mag. And then this is just the Haviland bipod I've had for a few years. I pulled that off my 300 as well. I'll put it on this 7 PRC and use it. So it's pretty much just interchanging some components off my other guns to save some cash for this year. And then I did have to purchase a Tally ring. This is a 20 MOA base, 20 MOA base that I'm going to use. And then still the same Vortex rings that I had off my 300. So I'm going to get this thing put together. I know I'm going to be under 8 pounds because I've already weighed everything, which I'm pumped about. I'm going to save about 3.5 pounds, maybe 3.7 pounds, which basically is the weight of my backcountry sleeping kit. So I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, I'll get this thing built and take you through it. All right, guys, so step one is we're going to throw the 20 MOA Picatinny rail on. This is the long action 20 MOA from Tally. It's 2.4 ounces. That's what I went with on this rifle setup. When you buy from Tally, of course, you're going to get a little Torx wrench and the screws you need to attach your rail to your rifle. Last year, I purchased the Wheeler Engineering scope mounting kit. This thing is awesome. It comes with everything you need to mount a scope or a rail to any of your rifles. You have your inch-pound torque wrench in there. You have your base level, barrel level, bore sighting laser, all the bits needed, and some thread locker for your threads on all your screws. So this is a great kit. It's worth the investment if you're going to do your own stuff. The next thing is always make sure you check your manufacturer specs so you mount your base at the correct inch pounds, scope rings, and all that good stuff. So make sure you double check that. You want anything coming loose when you're in the field. I'll get this thing tossed on, and then I'll put the scope on, and I'll give you guys some overall weights on this full rifle build so you know what you're getting yourself into if you decide to build something like this. All right, guys, we got the Picatinny rail mounted and torqued down to the manufacturer specs. Next thing you want to do is grab your levels out of your Wheeler kit. I start with the flat surface level, of course. You're going to set this on your rail to make sure your rifle is nice and level, and then you're going to set up your barrel level, get that thing nice and snug, and then micro adjust it to make sure that it matches the level that's on your rail. I've already done all that, so the next step for me is I'm going to toss my scope on, and then we're going to get you some overall weights to see what this rifle build comes out to. All right, guys, as you can see, scope is on the rifle. Function is awesome. Love the way that turned out. It's nice and low profile, just how I wanted it. So the next step here is we're gonna throw the Haviland bipod on. So when you buy one of these bipods, you're gonna get this nice case. Everything comes in, it's like so. Basically, all you do is you're gonna remove your sling adapter off your rifle. This is the magnetic piece. It's going to take its place with a female adapter that the bipod will just magnetically adapt to, like so, okay? You're also gonna get an assortment of screws to make sure you find one that fits this perfectly, and then you're gonna get 3 rubber gaskets that are also gonna come with the Haviland Pro bipod. They're all shaped a little differently, and basically that just is gonna give you options to find the one that fits your stock perfectly. It looks like it's gonna be that one for me. So real quick here, I'll remove this, slap that on, rifle will be complete. We'll throw it on the scale and see how much this thing weighs. All right guys, rifle is complete. Again, this is the Christensen Ridgeline FFT Vortex Razor 4.5 to 22 by 50 LHT and the Haviland Pro bipod from Spartan. I love the way this thing looks, but the moment of truth, let's throw this thing on the scale and see how much this rifle weighs. £7 pounds, 11.8 ounces.